What's up, everybody? Back again, second stream of the day. Had to align with the interdimensional spirits through that 369 frequency. As y'all know, 369 is a very special number just in general for the universe, specifically for the hex universe, as 3.69 is, the hex annual inflation. And we aligned with that so much that we decided to carry that forth in the design of MAXI, of TEAM. So the 369 appears in a couple places. One is in the early end stake penalty, where if you start a team stake, but then you don't serve a whole year and you early end stake, the amount that you early end stake experiences a 3.69% penalty. So the maximum deflation of the MAXI supply is 3.69%. But that's going to be a slow rolling thing that takes place over a long period of time. It'd be very rare if it actually hit that 3.69% in any given year, because that would mean that 100% of the team supply was staked and then early end staked, which is kind of unrealistic. So that's the maximum deflation. But more excitingly, during the number 369 appears during the 369 MAXI Rebate, which is sometimes considered the big payday event of Maximus TEAM. And so we're going to be discussing that today. What the 369 MAXI Rebate is, most of you already know it if you've been following the show, but 369 MAXI Rebate is where 30% of the total MAXI that is used to mint TEAM is redistributed back to TEAM stakers during years 3, 6, and 9. So that means, and it's staggered in the amount. So the way it works is, in total, 5% of the total MAXI is distributed in year 3, 10% of the total MAXI is distributed in year 6, and then 15% is distributed in year 9. And so this does a couple of things. One, it gives a bonus for team stakers during those 3 years. It's just a one-off bonus, and so and it's a way for team minters to reclaim some of the MAXI that they had contributed. And the amount that they get is purely based on the total percent that is staked during those years. So, those could be very competitive years, also considering the fact that not only during years 3, 6, and 9 will MAXI be included in the staker rewards, but also that's when we'll have a base stake ending and also a trio stake ending as well. So those are pretty important years. Also, in addition to those being years where we have a base and a trio stake ending, those are also the years before both a lucky and a deci stake, where year 6 is 1 year before year 7, which is when lucky ends, and lucky is going to be a big payout because that's going to be 7 years of yield all in one staking period. And same with deci. Deci is going to be a huge payout. And so those 369s, it was more of a branding thing. The decision to make it in those years was more just to, because everyone in Hex loves 369. Everyone on Earth loves 369. And then it just so happens that the timing of it aligned with the end of the trio stake and the year before both the lucky and the deci stakes are ending. So it's pretty magical just how all that worked out. That wasn't necessarily intentional. It only became clear after the fact. But during those years, it's probably going to be all hell is probably going to break loose, because people are going to be staking their team to reclaim that maxi. What happens when the team is staked? There's none for sale. Price goes up. Maybe we see early end staking, so supply goes down. We've talked a lot about that cycle of what can drive early end staking, but those years are going to be pretty exciting, and it's not too far away. And in a way, it's kind of like our big payday event. Whereas in Hex, there was like a single big payday event where everyone got between 30% and something like 120% based on how long they staked. Whereas with ours, we're going to have 3 of these events, each one getting larger than the last. And then that one is going to just deliver back maxi. Who knows what the maxi price is going to be in years 3, 6, and 9? Who knows how much maxi will be burnt before those years, and so that how much will each of those maxi be redeemable for at the end? Because right now it's the kind of back the envelope estimation for the maxi end earnings is I put it around 6, but who knows what type of burning events. I mean, we already know about the 20% of maxi minted in the team. We're going to see that burn, and then also who knows what other types of burning events may mysteriously happen with maxi. And so there's a whole lot of unknowns. Those unknowns introduce volatility, and that volatility really is the source of opportunity. And I'm really excited to share this opportunity with you all. Let's see what's up in the chat. Bearded Saint, what's up? Ted Nelson, let's do it. Oaksville, back at it. Yeah, I kind of can't help myself. I just love streaming so much. I feel like the people that watch get really good information, and I feel like it's important to be publicly standing by this product and to be sharing good information with you all. So it's probably one of my favorite things to do. So where should we start? So I guess why don't we start off with the let's start off with the just kind of the discussion around the game theory behind that. And let me share my screen just to kind of show just kind of what I was just talking about with those coinciding stakes ending and what that means for the payouts. So let's pull up. I know that Goldkey tweeted it from the Maximus account earlier today. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So let's share the screen. Name. What's up, bro? Okay. So the Maxi 360. So it's not depicted on this image here, but the 369 rebate. It is simply just a maxi. Like the maxi is simply sent from a contract called the Maxi 369 escrow contract to the team contract. Just so as you all know, the team contract, it has a list of supported tokens, and any transfer into the team contract of those tokens is simply divided up and split amongst all the people that staked team during that year, who successfully started the stake before the base year started and remained stake until the end of the base year. So that is so the maxi is being sent from the escrow contract to the team contract. It's simply it's just simply sent, and so there's really nothing special there, and so since that maxi is just sent there during years 3, 6, 9, if you successfully stake, you get your pro rata percentage of it. And so what's the maxi stakes, they line up with these trio payouts depicted here. So that'll be in years 2025, 2028, and 2031. And so if we were to add that maxi, that thing here, maybe this should have been depicted on this chart, but as you see in year 3, you're going to have 3 payouts from the year. You're going to have some hex from the base stake, hex from the trio stake, and so hex and Hedron from the base stake, hex and Hedron from the trio stake, and then maxi which contains Hex and Hedron. So it's just like a further boost on the payouts from that year. So that year 3, 6, and 9 is when that'll happen. And so, kind of what I was talking about a couple minutes ago, it's lined up with a year where, this one is just, it's like the first multiple payout year, and there's going to be where two of these stake pools end in the same year. And what we're going to be seeing is the that in addition to the maxi pass, there's going to be 3 income sources from that year, in year 6 and in year 9. And so this one will be like the first big payout from that, because before then there will be 2 base stakes that pay out, but this will be the first time there's like an extra large one. So though that big shock, like an abrupt change in crypto, abrupt changes really introduce a lot of volatility, and that volatility tends to attract opportunity. You see that in the Bitcoin halvening, where that inflation rate abruptly changes, where it cuts in half every year, and then that has traditionally been a catalyst for a bull market. And you saw it in Hex, where in Hex, let's see if we can find my old tweet. We had something kind of like a tenthening, where so in we had a tenthening right here between the end of the adoption amplifier phase, where the inflation, like the daily inflation in Hex, was massive, and then it abruptly shrunk down, and by about a factor of 10. And so in Hex we had our tenthening, which we saw reflected in the price chart. As soon as that, we saw like a big spike up in the price leading up to it, big sell off as the market adjusted to the new circulating supply. And then following on for the whole next year, we had just a massive run up in price, and a lot of that had to do with the reduction in that inflation rate by an order of 10. So there was an abrupt decrease in inflation, and that led to the first hexagon bull run that we saw. And so these abrupt changes, because of how quickly the crypto markets move, those abrupt changes can really boost a lot of energy into the markets. And so having this year 3 be the first time where that team payout grows massively, that could introduce a lot of volatility into the team price. And you do the math on that one, like what direction do you think that may push it? Because the payouts in each year may be a little less lucrative, and then boom, a big lucrative year. And the only way to participate in those earnings is if you first acquire team, whether you mint it or buy it, and then you must stake it before year 3 starts, and it must remain staked until year 3 ends. And so during year 3, we may see a whole year period where a massive amount of the team supply is staked, and then that lets when that team is removed from the circulating supply, it takes less new buyers coming in to really move the price up. So these abrupt, the 3, 6, 9, those abrupt moves, I think those can be a big catalyst for the team market. And kind of how we talked about, we've talked about numerous streams, but when we talked about, let's pull up this image, these cycles. Let's see. Wow, I tweet a lot. Where are they? Where is that? Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, so these, as people lock in for each year, we may see, big moves to the upside. And as a result, some people may just, have experienced such high performance on just like the underlying team that they may be willing to early end stake and then sell because they think that that's going to be worth more than the maxi, and they may be wanting to buy back in later. And so that does two things. One, if people are early end staking as a result of the team price going up, as you show this team supply right here, where it only goes down, and it's accelerated during these times of high early end staking, it drives the team supply down. So that is team that can no longer compete as a seller in the market, and that team also cannot compete as a staker. And so now there's less team total that can stake, and so the maximum or the minimum payout per team staked can ratchet up a little bit. And then also it removes it from the supply for the next cycle. And so during these years where there's an extraordinarily large payout, we may see huge amounts of early end staking, and then that drives down the supply, and then it also increases the rewards for those people that participate that year. And so that's something with the design of the staking system that I'm really proud of. That where it's you stake on a year by year basis, and it's all or nothing. Where you don't get credit for staking part of the year. You have to stake before the stake year starts, and you must remain staked until after it ends. And I think it introduces that dynamic where a lot of the supply can be removed from circulating supply. But then, if that price hits levels that are just too attractive, then, some percentage of those stakers are going to end stake. And they're effectively just paying the people that remain stake. One by being diluted a little bit by that 3.69% penalty, which because it's that 3.69% penalty it just remains permanently burnt. It's as if it is being split up and divided equally amongst all team holders. And then also those people at early end stake are going to be paying the people that remain staked by increasing the payout per team staked for that year period. And so, and then what they get out of that, they're paying those people, in a little bit of their team and in their staker rewards, but those people are, have the option to sell into the pump if if it's so shockingly high that people may want to, sell into that and kind of normalize that price. That's the benefit that they get. So it's kind of a give and take there, where that's the decision that everyone has to make in that moment is the price high enough to where I will tolerate giving up the earnings from this year and a little bit of my team. So it's actually a really nice. I think that even though it would be a more bullish pumpamental if the penalty was larger, I actually think that making it relatively small, that 3.69% penalty, it actually might encourage a lot more early end staking, which helps add deflationary pressure to the team supply, and then also boost the earnings for the people who are dedicated to the team staking. So overall, I think that the 3.69 is the perfect perfect percent for that penalty. And leading up to those years, we may see that perhaps and even during those years, you say this is your okay. I mean, just say imagine this is the launch. This is the year 2, and this is year 3. So perhaps it's year 1, the base stake happens, people get paid, but maybe the price went up, and so people early on stake. But then in year 2, everyone knows that before we reach this line right here, that if you want to stake for the MAXI rebate, you have to acquire your team and then lock it in. So we may see a huge, and you have to start locking in before this year starts. So just during this whole year, we'll see people will start their stakes locking in for the next staking period. And then that starts removing circulating supply. And then, say people are also trying to buy team because they want to get in for that, that year 3 rebate, and the trio payout and the base payout. So they end up going in, buying team and locking it. So if there's, more people buying team and locking it than there are people selling their team, then the price can kind of run up. But then maybe as the price runs up, it's just too juicy, then people kind of end it. But then during year 3, during this whole year, it may be really, really competitive where the price needs to go so much higher in order for people to tolerate that early end stake penalty. And then maybe we see people really holding out, and then maybe there's some crazy blow off top where it just gets so high where we see a huge amount of early end staking, and then those early end stakers cause the payout per team stake to go up, and then the the price may just normalize as a result of those sellers. And then what happens in that situation, if a lot of people start staking during years 3, but then early end stake as a result of, just for whatever reason, if they early end stake, then that reduces the number of people that MAXI is distributed amongst. And the less people that, so for instance, the less people that stake during those years, the more MAXI that you get. So I think I had, let me see if I can, I thought I saw we scrolled past that image. Yeah, right here. So, and so this shows so if you add these two numbers, that's like the total percent of the team that is staked. So in the event that 100% of the team is staked, where, including the mystery box and just everyone else, then the payout per MAXI stake, or the payout per team staked, is going to be 0.15 MAXI. So that's, but if 50% of the total MAXI, or the total team, is staked, then the payout is going to be that 30%, so 0.3 MAXI. But if less than half of the total team is staked during those years, I mean, this is a very, this is meant to just show the range. So if 2% of the total team is successfully staked during years 3, 6, and 9, then the payout per team staked is 15 MAXI. So that's just to illustrate the range. It's very unlikely that only 2% of all team is staked during those years, but that just shows that if the staking percentage is low, meaning if the price pumps so hard during those years that people are willing to tolerate early end stake penalties in order to sell the price down, then the amount of MAXI that you get back as a result of this could exceed the 1 MAXI that you put in per team. There is a threshold. So I think, what would that be? So if 30% of the so if 30% of the team is staked, and then so if 30%, so the way I think about it is if, assuming the mystery box, if you assume the mystery box doesn't stake, just for ease of calculation, the mystery box absolutely can stake, but just assuming that's not, each max, or each team staked, if there was 30% of team staked, then each team that is staked gets back 1 MAXI. So there is a chance, if there's high early end staking during those years, we may see, there's a chance that the team stakers get, that successfully stake in those years, get back more MAXI than they put into mint. And so that's a pretty interesting dynamic with that, with both the mystery box and everyone else. Again, the mystery box, that is a mystery, and that's part, it'll be very clear whether or not the mystery box is staking or not during those years, because it's just an address like everyone else. And so it's, fully traceable. And I imagine that there's gonna be a lot of people with their eyes on that, because that's a big driver in that payout, for everyone who's not the mystery box. But there is that dynamic with how the price may impact the team staker rate. And that's a very important thing to keep your eye on. Let's see what else people say in the chat. What's up, Michael? What about the team staking pool? Do we have to stake it solo? Yeah, so there's currently no team staking pool. That is a cool idea. And, we have thought of ways to do that. It's absolutely a possibility. But as of now, there is not a team staking pool. In team we trust. That's right. We should We should issue physical coins, um, physical team coins, and it can say "In Team We Trust." Tyler says, "Dip Catcher has become my favorite hex skin, I think." Absolute Chad. Thank you, Tyler. You're an absolute Chad as well. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. So that's like the main kind of game theory around this is that, you know, because you have to stake for whole year periods at a time, those years where there's extraordinarily large payouts could drive a lot of early end staking, and then the early end staking simply increases the rewards for the people that remain staked. So, and those team that is permanently burnt as a result of the early end stake penalty, those can't stake in any future periods, or they can't be sold in the future. So it even further amplifies the potential of those big year overlap, like those big income year overlap pumps, and it as the perpetual pools grow, then those payouts, the payouts go up if those pools grow, if people continue to auto compound in the perpetual pools, and if year over year those pools are growing in size, between people just auto compounding rolling forward into the next year, and then also new people with hex stakes that they started their hex stakes before these pools launched. Every year they're having hex coming out. Now they want to restake, but they want to save on gas, and they want to earn more yield, and they want to have that liquidity option. Those users, may be participating in those new minting events that happen. We have every so often, those the payouts can, they can go both directions. If those pools decrease in size over time, then the payout is not going to increase over time. But if the team stakers, do a good job in onboarding new users into these pools, and then retain users that are already in the pools, then the payouts can go up, while the teams, and a result of the payouts going up, that may cause pumps in price. Pumps in price may cause early end staking. That early end staking causes supply to go down. And so, just do the math on that one. What happens when you divide an increasing, like a number that increases over time by a number that decreases over time? Just put that together. That's a cool idea. Name says Mystery Box provides liquidity and gives team stakers fees earned. It's actually a really cool idea. Hadn't even considered that. But that's absolutely in the realm of possibilities. In a video, we'll have to do a whole video on Mystery Box, where we should all come up with our own crazed Mystery Box conspiracy theories. From Mystery Box is going to dump all the Maxi and dump all the team on day one, or perhaps the Mystery Box burns all the Maxi and burns all the team. And all the crazed things in between. That'd be a fun episode. Maximus Challenge Coin, Gladiator, Centurion, if you're in all Maximus products. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'll be a rare badge of honor. Like when we look, in 30 years from now, and when we have a trio stake and a Deci stake ending at the same time, that'll be the third Deci stake. And who knows what other pools are also maybe ending around that time. It'll be amazing to look back, when Hex is the global reserve asset as a result of this bond market that we're building on top of it, and the Maximus products are the interface between the Hex as the global reserve asset and all the national treasuries who are utilizing the Maximus pools for for issuing their own national currencies against, or utilizing for their national government budgets. Then and every single hex on Earth is staked in these pools, and hex is so expensive that only institutions can afford it. That'll be quite the badge of honor that you were there for the original minting, where you minted at that 1-to-1 rate. When that minting rate is 1 to 0.0000 something, because as every year that goes on, you have to use a little bit more hex in order to mint the same number of perpetual pool token. That'll be that's a really cool idea, to have some insignia to designate that you were here for the 1-to-1 mint rates, where you minted one team per maxi and one maxi per hex and one deci per hex and one lucky per hex and one trio per hex and one base per hex. That will be a sign that you were here. You know how people save like the from important events in history, they save like a ticket from the World Series or whatever they may save as a memento of that occasion. Those 1-to-1 mint transactions on Etherscan, that's going to be your proof that you were there. And then maybe in addition to that, we should issue some type of challenge coin or something to even further reward and celebrate people for that achievement. So that's the main, I guess, game theory discussion around the 369 rebate. More has to do with that the impact of the increased payout and then how that might cause early end staking to take place. Does anyone else have any questions about that topic before we get into, just because right now on the testnet it is year 3, and so right now the MAXI rebate is eligible to be run, and then so we're going to go ahead and do that and then make sure it works, and just kind of go from there. So if anyone has any questions, let's see. Crypto Fanatic says the best thing to have is team, no hex, maxi, perpetual. The only 3 reasons against: 1, forced to sell it at a discount; 2, too many people mint and stake team; 3, perpetuals are unpopular. Do you agree? Yeah, I mean, you're spot on. So the like the team yield, aside from the MAXI 369 rebate, which is kind of locked in regardless of anything. If these perpetual pools are not popular, then the team won't have high yield, and if it doesn't have high yield, it won't be as lucrative for new people to want to buy and participate in that, and so that won't drive the price up. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That if too many people, if these pools are too competitive, then then it'll take much larger pools, and if the team staker class is too competitive and there's too much and so many people minted to be part of it, then it takes larger perpetual pool size in order to deliver high yield for those stakers. So yeah, that's definitely and that's part of why we made it a really difficult decision, because had we done this where you could mint team with like Hex or USDC or ETH or Hedron or other coins that maybe you're okay with parting with, because people love their maxi, like people really love their maxi, and so making it a really difficult decision actually helps normalize that. Because what would suck is if so many people aped in that that the payouts were low and then people experienced negative ROI for some period of time. And so just to kind of, protect people from themselves, that making it a difficult decision was actually like a pretty critical piece of the design of that. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny how people's perspective on it is. I know a lot of people are really interested in aping into the mint, and they aren't really talking about it. They've told me they're into it, but they they don't want to talk about it because they don't want people diluting their payout. And so there may be some sleight of hand and weird FUD going on around it, but you'll be able to track. They'll be right on the dashboard. You'll check on Etherscan. You can prove for yourself just how much team has been minted, and that definitely makes an impact. But yeah, I think that the 1-to-1 minting with Maxi in a team, and then this rebate, which allows you to reclaim some of it if you stake, I think that creates a really good symbiosis between the two coins. And I mean the high, and also it's a really positive sign that people really value their Maxi, because, and also like people that end up not minting team with Maxi, they may cherish their Maxi even more, like where especially if the team price runs, because they'll have so much regret that they'll be like, okay, like I held my Maxi, I'm going to hold it all the way. I don't care what the price of Maxi is. And so it'll create a lot of people that have really strong diamond hands around their Maxi. And then if a lot of diamond handed people are holding Maxi that didn't mint team, then that can cause the Maxi price to rise. And if the Maxi price rises, then the value of the income to team stakers can also rise. And so people hoarding their Maxi is actually a really positive thing for the team price because it's during those years 3, 6, and 9, because the value of those incomes can be pretty high. And also, I mean, this escrow contract, that's diamond handsing until years 3, 6, and 9 as it releases them, with it weighted heavier on the later end of that time period. So, the more people that treasure their Maxi and are going to hoard that thing till redemption, then the more valuable team is. So it's like both ways that it's cut. It's kind of like team benefits from either scenario. So it makes for a really difficult decision, right? Like it's really hard. Like, what's that meme? Hard decision. This is gonna be we should make a meme out of this, because it's literally Maxi team. It's such a hard decision. It's truly difficult. And and the other benefits of that really hard decision of minting your Maxi with your team is that regret can really set in, right? Like, especially if that team price starts running, then if you're standing there with your Maxi and you're waking up every day checking that chart, like hoping for a dump, and then that creates positive economic energy into the future. So I'm very proud that this Maxi team minting is not a no-brainer. Like the perpetual, like if your goal is to stake your hex, the perpetuals is a complete no-brainer. Like you're kind of dumb if you don't stake in the perpetuals. Like just the across the personal benefits of gas savings for yourself and then increased earnings, and the liquidity option. That's like a no-brainer. And also you're adding the benefit to hex by helping keep more money in the hex economy and preventing money from being extracted from the hex economy into the ETH miner economy. So that's a no-brainer. Participating in the perpetuals for staking hex, that's a complete no-brainer. But minting Maxi with your team, it's not quite a no-brainer. It's actually a very difficult decision. And I mean, some people view it as a complete no-brainer because it's not going to say very likely, because I don't want to project, but team can absolutely earn more than Maxi. Like Maxi, the earnings are capped by the hex that already went into it, like the from that, and anything that causes the Maxi payout to go up is also causing the team payout to go up. So if that daily payout per T share is going up, that's experienced by both Maxi and all the pools, which means that's also applies to team. So there's nothing that boosts the earnings of Maxi that doesn't also boost the earnings of team. So, and also Maxi is mainly bounded to the hex price, whereas team has its own supply and demand dynamics, where team can become very, very scarce and in very, very high demand. And what happens to something that's very scarce and very high demand? And so that's team has its own value. But for a lot of people, especially like the really, very, very more on the conservative end of the risk spectrum, it's a very difficult decision. And it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. Kings Meadow asks, where can I find the white papers with all the perpetuals? So I think the white paper only covers base, but base and Trio, Desi, and Lucky, they're all the same. It's all the same contract. It's just the variable for how many days the stake is different. So they're all the same contract. So the base stake white paper applies. You can find that by going to Maximus TEAM on Twitter and then looking in the link tree in the bio. Crypto Fanatic says, my strategy: swap all my hex for Maxi, mint team with every Maxi I have, As you said, the best thing is team. It is deflationary, and you get yield for all perpetual stakes. Thoughts? I mean, everyone's got to look within themselves. Only you know the answer. Like everyone must look within themselves for that answer, and that is the correct answer. I think that's an awesome strategy. That's you. I think you're understanding what's going on here, but that's based on your own personal situation, your own risk appetite, your own time horizon. Everyone has different time horizons here, and so if that's what your gut's telling you, then that's what you got to do. Crypto Fanatic, remember, as many will mint team, which will burn the maxi, then this makes remaining maxi more valuable. Yeah. I mean, that's the another dynamic there that makes it such a hard decision is, if a lot of people are minting team, then the remaining because that 20% of the maxi that's minted in team is burnt. So the remaining maxi is more valuable, but that also means that the remaining maxi in the rebate is more valuable. And so that may make that maxi or that team held in those years more lucrative. And so maybe it's like it increases both the value of maxi, and because the value of maxi is going up, the value of those team is also going up. And so it's kind of like which one's going to increase more in value as a result. So that's tough decision here. There's a lot that goes into it. Oh my God, name right away. Name's got the best memes. Let's see, where is it? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm gonna quote you this. We saw this play out in the sweepstakes, and the strategies people shared in our giveaway earlier today. Let's include a photo of. Let's see, what time is that at? Where is it? That's so funny. That's great. That's truly great. Thank you so much. You're amazing, dude. All right, so let's do let's do it on the let's do it on testnet. So here, let's share this. I hope this works. I am testing this. This is what the whole purpose of the testnet is to make sure that all the stuff works as expected. I did actually identify something that could have caused a problem in it, but I've already fixed it. But it actually has not been patched on this testnet version yet. I mean, just because it was already deployed, it's immutable. So it's fixed for the one that's going to be deployed. But let me just share my screen so we can go over what's happening here, and then we'll talk about what is happening. So this is the contract. It's called the MAXI escrow contract, and it's deployed by the team contract when the team contract is deployed. So actually, it happens when the team minting phase is finalized. So when all the maxi is in the team contract, it sends it deploys this contract and then sends it 30% of the maxi. So and then it runs this function called schedule rebates. And then what that does is it calculates how much maxi is in this escrow contract. And then it calculates how much is claimable in years 3, 6, and 9. So we have the Scaled rebate, again, that's just the division technique for Solidity. And so it's, 3, so it's times 3, then divided by 18, because 3/18 is 1/6. So it's 1/6, 1/3, and 1/2 is, 1/6 in year 3, 1/3 in year 6, and then 1/2 in year 9. So 3, 6, 9 over 18 is just how the math works. So we have the, so then in rebate schedule period 3, we save that value. Rebate schedule period 6, we save the value, and then rebate schedule period 9 is the remaining amount, and then it sets that to be equal to true. So this can only be scheduled once. And then here we go. This is the function release maxi, and this is the function that actually it checks to make sure that it is currently the right period. So year 3 is period 5 in the team contract. So when you look at a team contract right here, get current period, see how it says current period is 5. So that means that this is year 3, because the way that the periods work is that 0 and 1 are part of year 1, 2 and 3 are part of year 2, 4 and 5 are part of year 3, etc. So those can happen in periods 5, 11, and 17. That those are for those the year. It's the period plus 1 divided by 2. So and it checks to make sure that year has stuff to send, because it sets it to 0 once it's already been sent. So this can only be run once. And then all it does is it just transfers the maxi. So maxi contract dot transfer to the team address, the amount that is saved in that rebate schedule for that year. So it's very simple. It just simply sends the maxi in the amount that was designated in the scheduling of the rebates, and it just sends that maxi to the team contract. So very, very simple. So I have if you want to check how much is in that contract, there's a function on the team contract called escrow address, which you can run, which gives you the address of this. You can run this on Etherscan. So you can check what it is, and you can just search what it is on the Block Explorer. So first, let's just go look at it on the Block Explorer. Okay, so 10 days ago when we started the test, this got sent 13 million maxi to this address. So let's see what happened during that. Yeah, so this was part of that finalized minting function that we covered, where so this one is the 69 address. That's cool that this 369. Oh my god, I wish this was on mainnet. Here on testnet, the address for this starts with 69. That's cool. But so what we saw is that so this OX30, that's the mystery box. So it got that 50% of the maxi sent there, and then also 50% of the team supply. So got a copy of the team. Then the 20% of the maxi that's burnt right here, from the tokens burnt, and then the 13 million maxi sent to the escrow contract. So that's 697. So we saw it there. So it hasn't indexed yet. So this doesn't show the balance there just yet. But it does show that there's only one transfer, and it's in from the Maximus TEAM contract to the escrow. So that's how you can if you want to prove that it's there, you can look on Etherscan and analyze the address, and you can get the address from the team contract directly. And so here I have an instance of the maxi escrow contract. Oh wait, that's not it. Okay, so here we actually have to deploy it. That was the mystery box. That wasn't the escrow. So here, so let's copy this escrow address, And then we are going to deploy MAXI escrow here at this address. So there we go. Now let's take a look at this. So let's see what the rebate schedule is. So let's just check. So year one or period one, we'd expect that to be 0. Period 2, we expect to be 0. So period 3, we expect 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we expect 2.26 million MAXI to be distributed as part of this rebate in year 3. So that's what we're looking at here. If we try to run the schedule rebate, it's already been run. It throws this error, doesn't let you run it. It says rebate's already been scheduled. So we know that works. And then now let's hit release MAXI. Yep. Confirm on MetaMask. All right. It's confirmed by 1 block. So now what we saw is that, just as expected, we saw that from this escrow address, we sent 2.262 million MAXI to Maximus TEAM. And so since this MAXI was sent to TEAM, it will now be distributed amongst the MAXI staker, or amongst the TEAM stakers who successfully staked right now. So right now, let's go back here and let's see how many people are actively staked right now. So TEAM, let's look for the global amount staked. Global stake TEAM in period 5 is what we're looking for. So there we go. So we have, let's do the math right now. So we have 2.26 million MAXI divided by how much is global staked TEAM in year 5. So just from this, obviously this is a test, but we will have 0.113 MAXI per team staked is what we expect to see. So here, so the base stake just started today. That means that it really starts tomorrow. That means that it's going to end the next day. So when we end that, so in 2 calendar days from now, so just over 48 hours, just under 48 hours actually, I think, right? Someone check my math on that. But we will end that base stake, run the prepare claims function right here, which will wherever it is, prepare claim. Yeah, prepare claims. We'll run that prepare claims function, and then that will send the hex from base and from trio, which also ended, I think, yesterday. Well, I'll have to check. These ones don't line up as they will in real life because they're on days instead of years, and so just the way that it lines up isn't as accurate as it is on the yearly basis. But it'll have hex, Hedron, and this MAXI. So we should expect to see people be able to claim 0.113 MAXI per team staked. And so when that happens in just a couple days, we'll check that. And yeah, so it looks like everything worked as expected. And we shall go from there. See if anyone has any questions. I wonder what the percent of MAXI that will be used to mint team. If a high number is used, which one will benefit more? So, yeah, I mean, good question. In the giveaway contest, the numbers people gave was 60%. I think that's shockingly high. So who knows? It all comes. Everyone, it's like, what's that thing? You have a plan till you get punched in the face. That's kind of what's going to happen here. Is that everyone's going to have their plan going in, and then reality is going to set in as the team phase launches. There's going to be all this hype and hysteria, but also FUD and critics, and there's going to be the whole wave of emotion. You're going to see these numbers stacking up FOMO will set in, fear will set in, and who knows? Truly, you tell me. And if a high number is used, which one will benefit more? So a high minting, it benefits Maxi, but the act of it benefiting Maxi also benefits Team because the value of that 369 escrow will increase. So they kind of both benefit. Also, that means that the mystery box will have a lot of Maxi, and I mean, regardless of how much it gets the same relative amount of team. So the amount of team the mystery box gets doesn't really matter. But so if you think that it's a positive thing for the team ecosystem for the mystery box to have a lot of Maxi, then that's positive for team. So if you think the mystery box can diamond hand that Maxi, then it's good for both. So yeah, and it's very, very hard to say, very, very hard to predict. Stampede of Bulls bullish on Team and Maxi. Yeah, me too. I mean, I think it's very important stuff, and I think that Team is a very important growth catalyst for Hex. Because if Team is highly incentivized to grow these perpetual pools, then that can attract a whole new class of user into Hex. So I think that it's very important. Ted Nelson, but if you stake Hex, yeah, exactly. You just reiterated what I said there. Stake true, you get 30% back. That's if everyone's staking. But if everyone's staking, what happens to the price? And if price goes up, then maybe people early in stake, and then you get more. So that's the $1 trillion question, right? Try and determine to use all my Maxi or keep a percentage of Team. Have it come either way. Yeah, and also, so low participation is bullish for Team. So if we see those numbers are low, then we'll probably see a lot of people minting at the end. But it's who knows. Truly, there's no way to predict this until it's already done. All plans change once you get punched in the face. Yeah, that's right. Could there be a contract which stakes Team and pays out yield to those who stake Maxi and whole base year? Who stake Maxi for a whole base year? Oh, so like a lockup, a lockup game type of thing, where if, you commit to holding those perpetuals. Yeah, so stay tuned on that topic as far as incentives for time locking the pool tokens and Maxi, and then also like the security model of where if you don't want your coins sold at all, like if you want to protect yourself from yourself, stay tuned on that, but no expectations. The main focus right now is a successful Team launch. But as far as further on things to support the ecosystem, I mean, you think I'm done here? For the strength of the Team is the Maxi, and for the strength of Maxi is the Team. Yeah, spot on. It's like they really boost each other. Team helps make Maxi more scarce. More scarce Maxi increases the value of that 369 rebate. Increased Maxi price may make. What if there's a big Team Maxi liquidity pool? Increased Maxi price may just by means of the bonded liquidity pair may cause the Team price to go up just from Maxi going up. So yeah, there's a whole lot of mutually beneficial activity there for sure. What up, Tonto? Can't wait to meet you in Vegas. Yeah, can't wait either. I ordered a shirt that has my Twitter name on it, or my Twitter picture. So try to find me out there. Does Team pay out every year depending on which perpetual ends, or only year 369? Yeah, Team pays out every year. So every single. So here, let's revisit that image so we can. Here. Oh, let's remove that one. Okay, so Team pays out. So everywhere there's this little money bag is when team pays out. So team pays out every single year. When like so every year team earns from base, and then years 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, all forever multiples of 3. Trio is also bundled in there. Every multiple of 7, a lucky payout is bundled in there, and every 10 years a deci payout is bundled in there. And so team stakers get rewards. So if you stake for a whole base period, so the base contract is the calendar for the whole team staking system. So you have to start your stake before the base stake starts, and you have to serve all the way until the base stake ends in order to earn all the earnings that came in during that year, not only from base, but also for Trio. So for instance, in order to earn the yield from Trio and from the year 3 MAXI Rebate, you have to start your stake before year 3 starts, and you have to hold it staked until year 3 ends, and then you can claim your rewards from base, Trio, and Lucky. So every year team pays whatever, no matter where the team contract doesn't care where the money comes from. There's a list of supported tokens. Right now it is Hex, Maxi, Hedron. Those are the ones that are being paid most regularly. And then we added base, Trio, Lucky, and Deci in there. No expectations for anything that may pay anything to that. A big reason why is because those ones seem the most likely where someone accidentally sends the coins to the team contract. So instead of those coins just being stuck there forever, they will just be distributed amongst team stakers. So hopefully that's small. Do not send money to team contract unless you intend to. Unless you're trying to give money to team stakers, do not send your funds to the team contract. So be very careful about that. But the team contract splits up all the income that it received every base year and then pays it out to all the team stakers. And then the 369 Maxi escrow is just a bonus. When release. So the audit is supposed to get here yesterday. They messaged me, told me that it was taking a little longer. They said Monday or Tuesday the audit would be here. I followed up. I asked this morning. I was like, "Hey, do you have any questions you need me to clarify on?" And they said no. We're working on it. Almost done. So let's see. Let me look to see if they've sent it to me yet. Nope, they have not. They are. Looks like they're online. So hopefully soon. But no. So it looks like the audit it hasn't got in today yet. So hopefully this evening or tomorrow the audit gets here. And then if everything's good to go, then so once the audit gets here is when we'll launch the release date. Everything is done as far as the contract, provided we don't have to fix anything per the auditor recommendation. So the contract's done, the front ends are all done, everything's ready. So there's nothing. The only thing standing in the way is just this audit, and it's more for me. Yeah, I don't expect users to, you shouldn't trust an audit really, but it's more for me, like just to confirm that everything that I built works as I'm expecting it to. So the audit is done hopefully tomorrow, and then we'll announce a launch date. And we're pushing ASAP. I said this earlier today. Every day that goes by and I see people staking on their own, I feel like we're letting those people down because they're just giving money away to ETH stakers that they shouldn't be giving away. There's no reason why you shouldn't be staking in these pools. It's every day that goes by where we're not able to service those people, to me is a failure. And so I am very urgent to get this launched in order to strengthen the Hex economy, because every day that goes by where there's solo stakes, that is money being drained from Hex. So this is urgent. So we're going to get this out ASAP, but only once that audit comes back. So hopefully next couple of days. I do have a wedding that I'm gonna be at this weekend, so you know, that may throw a little wrench in it, but it is ready to launch, and so hopefully they get the audit back to me before I go. So maybe next week, maybe next couple of days, but it shouldn't be much longer. There's nothing big that may cause a delay here, so could be soon. I think I'm done. I didn't say I think I'm done here. I said you think I'm done here. And are those claims plus minter get sent from the contract? So you go in and claim your rewards. So on the team contract, here, let's see, Maximus TEAM. Yep. So right here's an example. So here I staked in year 2. I'm so dumb. I didn't have any stakes in year 3, so I don't get to claim. But so these were from year 2. So there will be a button that says claim. If you haven't claimed already, you'll have a button that says claim, and then you'll just go to the dashboard and then click claim. And then most years it'll be Hex, Hedron, and MAXI. Or most years it'll be Hex. All years it'll be Hex and Hedron. Some years it'll be MAXI, and then whatever other mysterious sources of income arrive. Have launch details been released yet? So team launch is going to be 21 days. Base launch is going to be 21 days. And Trio is going to be 21 days. Lucky and Desi, as of now, are going to be 21 days, but we may actually extend those ones. That's just because it's more urgent for, just to the less days, every day that's not staked, you're not earning yield. And so like for a 1-year stake, 1 day, okay, for a 1-year stake, 4 days is 1%. Whereas for a 10-year stake, 4 days is 0.1%, right? And so it's more urgent to get the stakes started sooner for the shorter stakes, but less urgent for the longer ones. So we may extend them, but as of now, the plan is to do 21 days. We're still meditating a little bit, trying to come up with the ideal ones for that. But it's also important just to get this thing rolling. So, but if anyone gets extended, it'll be those longer ones. No, don't apologize. This is literally why I got on, to answer questions exactly like that. It's very important. Thank you so much. If I convert Hex to Maxi and Mint Team, will I get the same amount of Hedron as I would through a HSI stake? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. So team stakers may, let's see. Well, perhaps, because team stakers are earning Hedron from 4 pools, because the Hedron from these stakes, the perpetuals, those get sent to team. So if you're in team and say, over like a 15-year reference period, you're getting Hedron from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 payouts, plus the Hedron you get from the MAXI 369 rebate. Because if you get the MAXI is backed by Hedron, and that Hedron is getting the 5x bonus. So it all depends on how much team is staked and how big those pools are. But there is a chance that you do get a lot more Hedron than you would just by doing an HSI stake on your own. And you get the whole team during that time, and you get all the Hex during that time as well, and you get the MAXI. So like, it depends on the pool size, but you have a lot of things working in your favor staking team. Whereas, with the HSI stake, you kind of have, it depends on what you do. If you take, it's like, if you're just doing the if you're going to take the advance on that's the only reason for really doing an HSI stake, is taking the advance on it. And so if you wanted to collect that Hedron first, but then you have to pay back in 90 days. So if you need that advance, then do that. But if you want liquidity and you're probably better just holding that staked hex into in one of these pools. But if you're comparing the Hedron from an HSI stake to team Hedron earnings over that same period of time, you should run your own numbers, with your own estimations of the team stakes, team stake percentage, and the pool size, because that's the main driver in that answer. So you should definitely run your own numbers and put in your own estimations. But by minting team, you do have a lot working for you. So and you could end up with a lot more Hedron that way. I mean, MAXI alone is like going to be one of the top holders of Hedron. Okay, so TB Bishop says, can you tell a new hexagon how to acquire team? I heard you say mint lots, but can you explain that to a guy who never minted anything yet? Is buying MAXI on open market my route? Yes. So in order to acquire team, you have to mint it with MAXI. So here, let me show. So there's nowhere that you can do this now on testnet. We've done 2 testnet things so far. Let me just show. I guess I can just show you the team minting UI. So here. Let's go to the mint page. So you'll connect your MetaMask right here, and then you'll go to the mint page, and then all you'll do is you'll type in how much MAXI you're going to mint into team. And so you mint 1 team per 1 MAXI. Then there are 2 steps in this minting. One, you have to approve the MAXI to be transferred by the team contract. So you have to approve it. That's a common thing. So if you're new to crypto, that's like a common thing. Anytime you make a trade, anytime you do anything with your coins, you usually have to approve the transaction first, and then you have to complete the transaction. So there's 2 steps here. So first is approve, and then you just click mint team, and then you'll click approve in MetaMask, and then wait a couple seconds, and then what you'll see is your MAXI balance will go down by whatever amount you minted, and then your team balance will go up. So that's how you mint it. It's very simple. There's 2 buttons to click, and then that is your that's how you get team. And so you have to acquire MAXI. So if you're brand new and you weren't here for the MAXI minting that happened in April, then yeah, you just have to go and buy MAXI on the open market. So you can do that on Uniswap. I personally recommend matcha.xyz. So let's share this link. And then let's get the MAXI contract address. Oh, wow. We're getting a lot more users. We've gained like 100 users this week. Okay, so I'm going to just search the Maximus. Yep. Cheese token. So here, I'm just going to share this link in the chat. So this is the link to buy. I like Matcha because Uniswap's fine, but I got burned once on Uniswap from a arbitrage bot. It did something called a sandwich attack. It's only on larger transactions. I should have spread out my transaction, but I got waxed by that. It ended up not. It wasn't the worst thing, but it was like the price was one thing, and then my order got executed at a way, way, way worse price. So I like Matcha because I think their order routing is better, and I think it's a nice interface, and it shows the chart, whereas Uniswap doesn't show the chart. So I like Matcha for buying MAXI. But yeah, you'll have to buy MAXI first to mint your team. Bobby H, Quattro Cinco News. Yep. Okay, so Benny Blanco, this is actually a really interesting topic that he brings up. About Desi should be an instant pump like Maxi was. So yes and no, perhaps. So yes, on the fact that everyone saw Maxi happening, it may be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But and also, it's getting max longer pays better. So if that maxes out, then that could be, one of the top earning stakes in Hex. And then with, and because it has 15 years of earnings or 10 years of earnings to price in, and it's kind of hard to predict what the earnings are going to be over 10 years. It's kind of easy to predict what the earnings are going to be over 1 year, but over 10 years, there's so much can change where it's basically impossible. And since there's a wide range of what it could earn, then there's a lot of what I like to call blue sky that the market can paint into that. And that's kind of what caused this Maxi run up was just all the blue sky, because no one knows how much it's going to earn. Like I kind of go for a more conservative estimate with, potentially 6 hex per Maxi at the end. Whereas, other people like, our friends at Crypto Sparbook, their estimates are way higher, and that's, both are valid estimates, and of what the daily payout per T-share is going to be over that period of time. So there's a lot of unknowns in the future earnings, and whenever there's unknowns, there can be a lot of blue sky painted in. And so Desi, of all these perpetuals, has the largest, premium discount range, where it could trade between like a massive range. Whereas like Lucky, the range is probably gonna be a little smaller. Trio, the range is gonna be a little smaller. And then Base, it basically doesn't make sense to buy Base at a really high premium or sell Base at a really big discount. So Base will probably have a really small premium discount range. So yeah, I mean, Desi has the potential for that. But on the other hand, there's this phenomena that happens where, like, if everyone thinks it's going to happen, it's probably not going to happen, because then it just, like, it's already priced in, So like, if everyone thinks that it's going to pump instantly, then everyone's going to mint, and then if everyone's already minted who's going to be wanting to get Desi, then they may, it just may not pump as hard. But who knows? Maybe it pumps harder because more people will want, because it already happened. Like, either way, it's impossible to predict. And, I want to be clear that it absolutely, like, there's a chance that it doesn't, and it's because that phenomenon of, if everyone thinks it's going to happen, it may not happen, kind of like when Hex launched, everyone thought it was a scam and no one thought it was going to pump. And that's why it pumped. And Maxi, like, no one thought it was going to pump, and that's why it pumped. And so if everyone thinks it's going to pump, it can go 2 ways. Either it doesn't pump, or it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, which absolutely can happen. So who knows? Especially if Maxi people roll out of Maxi into Desi, like that, to try to ride that again. So who knows? Who knows? And it depends on how many people are just holding Desi as an alternative to staking 10 years on their own. Because if those users are just using Desi purely as a staking product, not looking to sell at any price, they're just waiting to redeem, then the price can really run. So who knows? Impossible to predict. Do you think there will be liquidity pool for Team Maxi on launch day? Yeah, probably. You can be certain that the mystery box won't be the one doing it, because the mystery box doesn't get its team or Maxi until the team minting phase is over. So mystery box only gets those funds after the fact. So you can be certain that in the first 21-day period that the mystery box will not be providing liquidity. And another kind of Easter egg related to the timing of when the mystery box gets its team, it's actually impossible for the mystery box to stake during year 1. So during year 1, the mystery box it's impossible for it to be staked, because that first staking year will have already started before the mystery box gets the team. So yeah. So, but as far as liquidity pool goes, It won't be the mystery box, but it probably will. I mean, from day one, there was a MAXI hex pair, and that was pretty interesting to see. What will probably be different about, because when we look at the, where's Dex screener? I have to pull it up. When we look at the very, very early, like the first 15 days of MAXI, all right, who's watching the stream hitting the buy button? But when we look at this first 15 years of MAXI, or first 15 days of MAXI, let's draw some lines here. So let's do. So in this first 15 days of MAXI, the price basically just hugged around 1-to-1, because anytime that the price went above that, the price of MAXI measured in hex, anytime it went above, then a MAXI holder could sell at that premium and then sell the MAXI for hex at the premium and then mint at the 1-to-1 rate. So they would get more MAXI and then they could just keep selling it down. So anytime it inched above it, it would just get sold right back down. And anytime it was below it, because if it was below there, you could buy MAXI with hex and then instantly redeem, so buy MAXI with hex and then instantly redeem it and then use that hex you could buy how did that other end of the arbitrage work? So when it went above, you would mint MAXI and sell, and then when it goes below, you would redeem. Yeah, so you would redeem MAXI. So you'd mint MAXI at 1-to-1. You would just with hex you'd buy it, and then because you'd be getting more than 1-to-1, so you could buy at that low rate and then get more, and then you could mint the MAXI and then continue that squeeze. So the price basically stayed at that 1-to-1 rate because there was both minting and redemption. And so that's what the redemption phases in between the base trio, lucky, and desi stakes will look like. What you'll see is that the price will just converge to the redemption rate, and then it'll hover around there, because during the perpetual pools in between the stakes before the next one starts, there's both minting and redemption. So having both minting and redemption and buying and selling across the pair, that helps the price just stay kind of constant at that redemption rate. But since in team, there's only minting, there's no taking your MAXI back. It's only minting. It wouldn't make sense for someone to buy team at a premium because during that minting phase, because you could just mint it 1-to-1 instead of buying it. But also it also doesn't really make sense that someone would sell there unless they just regretted it or like needed the money instantly and they couldn't wait the 21 days. It doesn't really make sense for someone to sell it at a discount. But people can only there's like people will have the team and they can sell it, and then people will probably want to buy it at a discount. So it'll probably stay near that 1-to-1 range on the MAXI team chart, but it's only like a one side arbitrage where, you could sell your team at a premium. If someone was to buy it at a premium, you could sell it at a premium, take that MAXI, then just go and mint more team. So that one, there probably will be a liquidity pool, but it won't be such like an active arbitrage as like the MAXI hex pair was in the first couple of days. Rob says cow swap. Okay, I've never tried. I've heard people talk about cow swap. I've never tried it though. Matt T-Share says, if the perpetuals will have different minting phases, will their end periods align with the current team unstaking period? I had to get the yield at the end of the current period. So they won't align with the team unstaking period because they'll just happen at any time during that whole year. And so, also including the current, so here, let's just draw this out. Let's stop sharing here. Let's share. Do I have this shown anywhere? No. Okay. So, let's create a new slide. So this will be the stake periods. So what we'll have is, then this will be like the base stake, but again, the base stake is the calendar for team staking. So we'll do this, and then so let's just okay. So for instance, this is like the base stake period. Can you see my screen? Yeah. So this is like the base stake, but so this is like a base. So this is a base one, and this is when so in order to start team staking, you have to. So here, let's just write this in text. So base stake start, then also team stake period 1, or team stake year 1, or just team stake deadline. So let's do an arrow from there to. So that's the deadline to start the team stake, and you have to serve for this whole period. And so all of the income that arrives in the team contract in between here, let's rotate this, and here. So yeah, everything that arrives in the team contract from the end of the prior base stake to the end of the next one. So pretty much like from end to end on the base stakes. So if a trio stake, so say this is in the future, if a trio stake happened to end during these handful of days in between the base stake, then it is in this year's one, and that trio will be redeemable over here. So during this whole period, so there could be a situation where a big payout from another stake pool gets paid before that year's deadline. So in that case, the team stakers can be very certain that the payout is going to be at least this amount because the payout will have happened before the deadline. So those may be extra bullish years because people are certain with how much earnings is going to be coming from those other pools from those overlap years. And so while this is the deadline to start the stake, anything that comes in after the last base stake ended until the current year's base stake ends, all that income is distributed amongst the team stakers. So if that answers your question, hopefully. Value Brand says, love these streams. Thank you so much. A team 10,000x is only a matter of time. You said it, not me. So in 15 years, when Maxi comes to maturity and the remainder of Maxi cashes out, one team would have a big payout for that year. How will that affect team going forward? No. So Maxi isn't related to. So like Maxi doesn't pay team anything, because Maxi was launched before team existed, whereas team deploys these perpetual pools. So base, trio, lucky, desi, those all pay team, but Maxi does not. So the end of Maxi doesn't have anything to do with team. Crypto BD says, so excited about the new perpetuals and even more for team. Yeah, me too. I think the perpetuals are a huge solution that really boosts the amount of money that hexagons are going to be able to keep, instead of money that's bled out to gas, gas collectors from ETH miners. And it introduces a lot of new benefits, and it's like a new sales pitch for Hex, where it simplifies the use of it. That auto compounding, it's like the staking just is automatically done for you, and you get more Hex. Like what? It's an awesome sales pitch. So that in this new cycle, as people start onboarding new users again, then it's just like we're equipped with like a brand new sales pitch. And also, not only that, we have a group of people in the team stakers who are incentivized to grow these pools. So in a way, if you were around for the first year of Hex with the referral bonus, it's almost like with team, we're bringing back the referral bonus, because the payout that the team stakers get is driven entirely based on the size of these perpetual pools. And so any person that you're onboarding into the perpetual pools, if you're a team staker, you are getting a little bit of that bigger pays better bonus from that stake. So it's a really powerful growth incentive, and it's really the only thing that I've seen that's actually a marketing incentive and actually like a marketing engine for Hex. I know other people have been launching, not shit coins, but not like not saying anything that creates this, that's for everyone to decide on their own. But like just shit coins, meaning things other than Hex or the pools. People launching stuff where they're like, oh, this is gonna attract new users to Hex, when it's really directly competing for buyers. Like this actually, like team actually attracts new users to Hex, because it's a direct incentive for people to be onboarding new users into Hex through these pools. So team is a really powerful growth mechanism for not only the perpetual pools, but because it's a growth incentive for the perpetual pools, it is a growth engine for Hex. And so I think the team is going to be a critical part of this next, the next 10,000 X in Hex. Thanks, DC. Awesome concept. Thank you so much. Ted Nelson says, thank you, sir. Hi, all. Tyler says that 20% maxi burn is kind of similar to the big payday bonus too for maxi holders. Yeah, I mean, if in big payday it was like 30% for 1 day stakes and like 100% or something like that for max length stakes, then yeah, and if the 20% burn, well, so it's not going to be 20% of the total maxi supply. It's 20% of the amount that's minted. So if it's say 10% of the maxi is minted in the team and 20% of that, so that would mean that 2% of the maxi is burnt, meaning that it's as if that 2% is equally distributed amongst everybody. So if 100% of the maxi was minted, then yeah, there'd be that 20% maxi burn. But if everyone minted in the team, then no one held the maxi, but the mystery box and the team stakers that got the rebate. Then yeah, so it kind of is, because anytime you burn a coin that's fixed in supply, it's mathematically equivalent to you simply chopping it up and distributing it equally to everybody else. So you're kind of right there. Valley Brand says, well said about what you're creating versus others that aren't providing value and are leeching. The game theory with what you created is mind bending. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a money grab. If this was a money grab, you think I would only accept the most illiquid thing in Maxi and the thing that people have a very hard time parting with. Like that's what I see out of other things, and where they're just kind of leeching. You're right in that, and like the whole purpose of this really is this compounding, this flywheel effect where if we can create this flywheel effect where team staker, so like I described here, I talked about this on a prior stream in the tweet. It's like if team price goes up. Oh wait, no. Where did I do this? Oh, it's in a different one. Okay, so this isn't the one I was talking about, but it kind of fits into this, where team price goes up, early end stakers sell the pump, team supply goes down, earnings per team staked go up, and now it's easier for price to go up, and then team stakers can claim their rewards and they use it to buy and stake team. So another thing that kind of fits in this category is they either use it to buy and stake team, or they use these gains to finance marketing campaigns for Hex via the perpetual pools. And so if people increase the Hex user base, that means Hex goes up. If people are increasing the Hex user base via the perpetual pools, that means the team payout, so that increases, and that means it increases the team earnings for stakers, and any increase in the team earnings for stakers or any increase in the value of their earnings, which come in Hex, because team stakers earn Hex. So the increase in the Hex value and the perpetual pool size as a result of marketing efforts that the team stakers are able to finance from their earnings, that causes team price to go up, maybe more early end stakers, team supply goes down, earnings per team stake go up. Now it's easier for price to go up, and on forever. So that's really the compounding team flywheel effect, that if we can really make this catch root, what could Hex go to? What could team go to? And it's one of those situations like, hey Siri, what's the largest number? And and who knows? It could be crazy. I was checking to make sure that Siri wasn't actually looking up the largest number. I don't even know where my phone is. Hi, all, catching up from the start. It's gonna pump Hex is like a meme now. Yeah, it's gonna. Hexo did a funny. Let's talk about that. So the best way to pump Hex is to buy and stake Hex. The only way, but Maxi does that. Maxi did that, yeah. And so now we have the perpetuals doing that, and we have a group of users who are financially incentivized to increase the number of people that are staking Hex to these pools. And since there's only so many people that are already in Hex, that's like currently like the immediately addressable market. Like, if you've ever worked in startups, you talk about that, like immediately addressable market and then like the total addressable market. And so like the immediately addressable market here for these perpetuals is existing hexagons. And then that total addressable market are, future onboards or other people interested in decentralized finance or, personal finance, trustless yield, like that whole category of people that are not already in Hex. And so right now it's like the team stakers probably are going to be the most incentivized to try to grow that number of users. And so they'll probably be some of the most motivated people to be eating into that total addressable market and attracting new users into Hex through these pools. So yeah, you're spot on that. I mean, it's not the best way, but like the only way is to get more people buying and staking Hex. And that's what the team is incentivized. They're directly incentivized to. It's not like people, like a lot of people that are talking about how, oh, this coin's going to pump Hex. They're, just as like a cop out, and they know they're not telling the truth, but they just feel like they have to say that to justify whatever they're building. They think that like having like, that like getting in front of dog shit coin holders is going to pump the price, but it's really not. Like that's like a way indirect like awareness thing. Whereas the team staker incentive being only from the success of these perpetual pools is a direct onboarding incentive. It's not just like an adjacent awareness thing. It's like team stakers are going to be highly incentivized to grow the number of hexagons that are staking in these pools. And there's only so many current hexagons, and so then their next addressable market is people outside of hex. So yeah, you're right that it is a pretty funny meme, and I think and I think even though we never say that like this is gonna pump hex because it's kind of dumb to say because it's it could not like because there's other things that could counter like big hexagon existing hexagons selling that it's like that counters other efforts and it's just kind of like there's so much more like saying trying to justify like I feel like we don't even need to just like people say oh it's going to pump hex because they're trying to justify their thing like with this it's like there's no justification needed it's clear this is like a powerful force for the hex economy like it's solving real problems in hex like the gas fee in hex like that's a real problem and we solve that and it improves the user experience by making staking easier and lets users earn more than they would staking on their own and it keeps a lot of money in the hex it's like thing after thing no brainer it doesn't need any like fake justification of why it's important and so that's why we don't like I wouldn't even occur to me to like say oh this is going to pump X but like it kind of speaks for itself I think. Yeah, how's buying other crap pump X makes no sense. Yeah, what mathematically should do better base with 3-year rollover or trio? So trio so based on how the T-share rate works, a trio stake should earn more than base, but not by very much. It's actually a smaller amount than you'd think. So trio will earn more than base, but so base is more of like an alternative to holding liquid hex, and I'd say trio is good for like the short-term staking strategies, and then but base is also good for people that want to front run trio people, because if a lot of people are in trio, then it may be good to be in base where you can pay a little bit, you can earn a little bit less yield, but maybe you'll be able to, cash out before a bunch of trio people get their hex redeemed. So there are some other benefits to, where you can give up some of the yield in order for less risk on that premium and discount range. And then also like the timing of when you can take delivery of your hex. You may be able to front run people in those, longer stakes that maybe earned a little more. So there's a lot of strategy there, but like head to head, trio will probably earn more than one trio will probably earn more than 3 bases, but not by very much. But there also may be other benefits to taking delivery of your hex from base sooner than say you took delivery in year 2, or maybe you held in through year 2, and since like the base market's probably who knows what it's going to do, but it's probably going to price in the year's earnings fairly quickly, and anything far below is probably going to get bought up pretty quick. So base is probably going to be very liquid. The base hex pair is probably going to be very liquid. And so if it's very liquid, then perhaps you could, front run the trio redeemers by selling your base like midway through year 2. And then maybe like the net gain that you might experience may be higher than had you just done trio. And then now you're competing with all the other trio people that are thinking the same thing. So there's some game theory and some strategy related to the 1 year versus 3 years. Today 6966 Maxi buys 1 Maxi T share. Today 7749 Hex buys 1 Hex T share. Yeah, that's an interesting point. I plan on having most of my stakes roll over into the next staking period, only taking out APY percent of the pools should naturally increase hex remaining pools. Yeah, so if because the bigger pays better is based on is a number, and so if you if people, so if everyone, so say after a base stake, it's probably gonna earn like 10%. So say after that, everybody redeems, 10% of their hex from base. Then it's like the base stake is like at the principal size is at the start, is at the value of the original one. And then, if new people join the pool, say someone who has stakes that are ending next year, they're not going to make this first base minting, but they may make the next one. Those people may be adding to the pool. So, the more hex that stays in these pools as they roll over from one to the next, the better. But it's everyone's choice on what they do with it. But as they auto compound, then that can cause the team earnings to go up, because just now there's more hex, and more hex means bigger pays, larger, bigger pays better bonus. And then those, and that's the main driver in the earnings per team staked. Hex 0.42 and MAXI 0.78. Oh yeah, you're saying the premium. Yeah. So he's right that, like, for a T-share, you can get it by staking on your own, because it's 1.8 hex per maxi on the market right now. But you lose the liquidity. You're paying your own gas. So those are things that kind of normalize that. But yeah, you're right in that on a T-share per T-share comparison, you may be able to get more by just staking hex solo, but you lose the other benefits, and you're not really benefiting from all this stuff that's going on in the Maximus ecosystem. But also it's kind of like it's kind of even hard to approach that topic anyways, because you may be earning, so you may be paying more for that that Maxi T share, but the percent gain you may experience, like if the market prices in the end redemption value sooner than 15 years, like say in 7 years, Maxi price hits what the end redemption rate ends up being, then you experience, even though you got in at 1.8 instead of 1-to-1, you experience the same percent gain. Like if you're measuring APY as like annual percent yield, because you experienced say half the gain of the max length, like, or half the gain versus staking solo, but you did it in half the time, your effective APY is equivalent. And so there's kind of that other side of the equation of how the market prices in the earnings. And so you could experience where if like a minter if a minter minted at 1-to-1, and then at the end one maxi was worth 6 hex, then they went 1-to-6 in 15 years if they were to just redeem. But if you mint, or if you buy at 1, say just 2, just to make the math easier, say you buy at 2 and then sell at 6, and if that time the price hit 6 happened in year 7, then you experienced a 3x in 7 years. And so 3x in 7 years is mathematically equivalent to 6x in 15 years, like on a gains per year basis. So that's why people continue to buy maxis, because one, the whole team stuff, but two, because it can price in those earnings faster than they're actually realized. You may experience like a similar APY, depending on your time frame. So that's one way to think about it. Do you have a video explaining each coin, when it's time to stake, where do we stake from? So we do have a video, which I'll close out this. I'm gonna have to get off here in just a minute. I'll close out this with the video that explains all of it. And then when it's time to stake, you're gonna stake on a domain. We haven't announced the domain yet, but it'll be a Maximus.cash domain. So it'll be something.maximus.cash. So just stay tuned for that. CryptoBD says, thank you for being so transparent and open to all, to ask questions. This will help to add adoption. Yeah, I mean, it's very important. I mean, this was, that was why everyone, was so excited about when Hex launched, and everyone trusted Richard at that time, was because leading up to the Hex launch, he was streaming for hours and hours and hours on end, answering all the questions in the chat. And I think that helped build a lot of rapport with the community. And that's really what I'm aiming to do with all these. By the way, did you check to see if the winner's following all the other rules? Yeah, so they retweeted it, and they tweeted, so I actually didn't check if they're following, but it's kind of too late because I announced them as the winner. So hopefully they're following. I picked up a lot of new followers as a result, but I didn't actually check if they're following me. I just kind of assumed, but maybe I should have. But you know what? They won. They got chosen, and kind of too late to claw that thing back. It also says thank you. Okay, so to just to kind of round this out, if anyone else has any more questions, post them here now. If not, I'm going to play back the explainer video. It's like a 5-minute explainer video that shows just all the information about all the coins. And then, I'm tired. I need to eat dinner. Now I'm going to probably sign off here. So let's see this. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to be on 2 streams. One is actually going to be very early in the morning. It's going to be for the Australian audience with Blue Bum and that whole crew. So I'm actually getting up really early to stream there. And then at 10 a.m., I will be streaming with RH Max. So catch me there twice tomorrow. And then here, let me share this to answer A12s about this video. It's better for more people to watch this video. So here, let me stop sharing that. Let me pull up the video.
Hey guys, my name is Stan, aka Gold Key. I'm one of the founders of Maximus, and I'm excited to tell you about Maximus DAO and some exciting products we're launching soon. So let's hop in. Maximus DAO, build your legacy for generations to come. We're on a mission to empower elite gladiators with high yield assets to build empires of generational wealth. Our vision is to build the best decentralized financial tools that are easy to use, secure, and maximize returns for investors. Maximus is built on Hex, which is a leading DeFi protocol that allows people to stake their Hex tokens and earn trustless yield. Hex has a fixed inflation rate of 3.69%, which is rewarded to people that stake their Hex. Hex has 2 bonuses: the bigger pays better bonus, which is 10% for staking up to 150 million Hex, and the longer pays better bonus, which is 200% for staking up to 10 years. There's also an early end stake penalty where if you unstake your Hex before the stake's maturity, you will incur a severe penalty. In its first 2 years, Hex has done a 10,000x price run up, and there are over 100,000 stakers actively using the protocol. So we thought, what if there's a way to maximize Hex yield and minimize gas fees for stakers? So we built Maximus stake pools, which are trustless smart contracts that enable people to stake their Hex together to earn more yield and save on gas, maximizing bonuses, instant liquidity, gas fee savings, and community owned. You can think of Maximus stake pools as one giant stake. Your tokens hold ownership and can redeem its value of the Hex principal, plus earn interest when the stake ends. So how do they work? All pools start with a mint period where you can mint 1 pool token per 1 Hex pledged to the smart contract. When the mint period ends, all the Hex pooled is then staked through the Hex smart contract. From that point on, the stake is earning yield, which is increasing the redemption value of your tokens. And when the stake ends, you can redeem your Hex principal plus earn interest from the smart contract by burning your pool tokens. We launched our first pool, MAXI, which was a 15-year stake, on April 15th and had over 5,000 people pledge a combined $50 million of HEX during the 2-week launch phase. Since the start of the stake, MAXI has commanded a premium over HEX in the underlying asset and hitting an all-time high of 133%. So it's performing really well on the free market. And on the back end, MAXI has been earning 32.5% APY and has already earned 30 million HEX in the first 114 days. To expand Maximus DAO and offer new opportunities for HEX, we are introducing 4 new stake pools called the Perpetuals, and you'll find out why. Base is a 1-year stake, Trio is a 3-year stake, Lucky is a 7-year, and Deci is a 10-year. These pools will start just like MAXI with the mint phase. All the HEX will be staked and begin earning yield. But what makes these new and innovative is that we are introducing auto compounding yield. So when those stakes end, you have 3 options. You can either redeem all or a portion of your HEX principal plus earn interest. You can leave your HEX in the pool and be auto restaked into the next term, or you can mint more pool tokens into that pool at the new mint rate, which is equal to the current redemption value of that pool token. You can think of these pools as a flexible staking ladder. A staking ladder is a strategy many already use, so you can redeem trustless HEX yield periodically or simply sell your tokens at any time. And again, bigger bonuses, gas fee savings, and instant liquidity. To support the growth of the perpetuals, we're also introducing Maximus TEAM. You can mint and stake TEAM to earn rewards from the success of Maximus stake pools, offering passive income. The token supply is deflationary, uncapped potential for future earnings, and again, community owned. During the mint period, you can mint 1 TEAM per 1 MAXI pledged to the contract. After the mint period ends, no more TEAM will ever be minted and the supply only goes down. 20% of the MAXI used to mint TEAM is burned, increasing MAXI's redemption value. 30% of the MAXI used to mint TEAM is distributed back to TEAM stakers in years 3, 6, and 9 for the MAXI 369 rebate. And 50% of the MAXI used to mint and a copy of all the TEAM is sent to the mystery box. Now, if you're wondering what the mystery box is, it is just that, a mystery. And there should be no expectations. TEAM staking. So stake TEAM for an entire 1-year stake period to earn rewards for that period. If you unstake early, there is a 3.69% penalty on your TEAM, and you do not earn rewards for that period. When a stake period ends, all whitelisted tokens in the TEAM treasury are claimable by TEAM stakers. TEAM rewards. So the perpetuals share half of the HEX earned from the bigger pays better bonus and all of the Hedron from those stakes. So TEAM stakers are incentivized to grow the perpetuals. We spoke on the MAXI 369 rebate, which is 30% of the MAXI used to mint TEAM is rewarded back to TEAM stakers in years 3, 6, and 9. And then there is the no expectations piece. So there is the possibility to earn from more opportunities like direct airdrops to the TEAM smart contract or future products that reward TEAM stakers and send tokens to the TEAM treasury. So how to prepare for launch. If you want to mint TEAM, you're going to want to get MAXI. And if you want to mint into the perpetuals, you're going to want to get HEX. I invite you guys to join us. Follow us on Twitter, Maximus_DAO, and hop in our Telegram, t.me/Maximus DAO. We will be announcing a launch date soon for TEAM into perpetuals, and we will be posting to those channels. So make sure to tap in, and our website is maximus.cash. Thank you guys so much for spending the time to learn about Maximus DAO, and I am excited for launch. I hope you are too. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's an awesome video. Watch that a couple times till you understand it, but that kind of covers what they are. Hexlove says something in about the strategy of selling all my MAXI when the premium launches to the moon in the coming days and buying back after the dust settles. Risky though. Yeah, I mean, you know that saying, like, remember when Luna was going to zero, like it went down 99% and then it went down 99% again. I think that, but the opposite. But I mean, many people are probably going to do. You're not the only one thinking that. So People are probably going to be trying to do that. Your keys, your cheese, your risk. And yeah, so that's definitely risky, because you may just end up with less team than you would have started with. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, because like, how do you call the top and how do you call the bottom? Matt says, thanks for explaining all your efforts. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for being here with me. And Hexlove also says, thank you for your time. You're an amazing guy. Hey man, you're an amazing guy too. I really appreciate you. You're very, very thoughtful. You're always looking for new opportunities for me to connect with people. And you just have an awesome attitude. And I've really enjoyed getting to know you, through this journey. Almighty Hexkins, Glee. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to peel off, but we'll end with this. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. We'll see you guys soon. Oh, we need the team logo there. Oh my God, it's the team logo. It's the team logo. Oh my God. It's the team stakers flying down to claim their rewards. Up and to the right. It's the base logo. If you want it, you can get it with your love. If you want it, you can get it with your love. If you want it, you can get it with your love. If you want it, you can get it with your love. All right, guys. Another awesome stream. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any more questions, hop in the Telegram chat. Follow me on Twitter, Tanto Nomini. And we will talk to you soon. Enjoy yourselves.
I started playing frisbee.